There's a lot of war energy, talk of war on this planet right now. A lot happening externally. But there's also a very, very important war going on for all of us, for every single human on this planet. And it is a war that you can't necessarily see. It is an inner war. Now, this may take different forms for different people, but distilling it down to its core, it is the war on survival mode. It is the war that we're fighting against this system that does not have our highest good in mind and in heart. It is the friction between this system that has been built externally that goes against what is here internally, what we know to be true, our natural rhythm. It is a war essentially also against time and what we know time to be in any case. Time itself isn't inherently bad or wrong, but our relationship with it has become very, very twisted over the past few hundred years in particular. So, we are going to go deep with this topic today in a video that's been on my heart to share for a while, something that I've been called to talk about for a while, but it just didn't feel like the right timing. But now I've been given the green flag, because this is it, friends. This is it. This is the split. This is the point of no return. And really, it just comes down to the simple choice: love or fear. That's it. That's what it comes down to. What will you choose? Where will you put your focus? Where will you put your energy? And it manifests in our bodies. I think so many of us, especially those of us on the spiritual path, certainly myself, like I am not above this faux show. We're so used to kind of dissociating from our bodies, right? And dissociating from the material, from the physical, and just being all like love and light up here in the energetics of things. And this can no longer continue, because the ascension process that we are all here experiencing right now, it's all about embodiment. It is about bringing that frequency down. And how do we do that? Through our bodies, through our meat suits, as I playfully, lovingly like to call them. It's through our meat suits that we bring that frequency down. But maybe for some of you, many of you, most of you, maybe all of you, again, myself, definitely, you may struggle to do that because your nervous system is frayed. You have like a frayed nervous system. It is short-circuited. It is used to being in constant survival mode. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn, before, trauma responses. You're used to cycling between these. Your body's used to it, and that is unnatural. What is natural is for us to tap into these energies in situations that genuinely require them, aka a tiger chasing you. But most of us now, like, we're not being chased by tigers, are we? But we're creating them in our minds. This is also part of it. It's being too much in the mental realm. We create these tigers that don't even actually exist, and we start to believe that they do. Our bodies start to believe and behave as if they do, when they don't actually exist. In any case, see, I'm already like going into it. But I'll just take a short break there and say, first, for those of you who may not know me, my name is Hannah, and I empower you to empower yourself. And today, it's my intention to do that by shedding some light on this topic of survival mode and just having a frayed nervous system, and exactly like, what can you do to get out of survival mode? What can you do to bring embodiment into the present moment and feel safe in that embodiment. So that's the intention, is to help you experience more safe embodiment and to break out of survival mode once and for all. And maybe if you're, watching this, maybe you've experienced a moment or a few moments in your life, maybe especially recently, where you were out of survival mode for a brief fleeting moment. Oftentimes when we're in the flow state, for example, we can experience this. This is what the flow state is, right? It's like you're out of time and you're at one with the universe. You're at one with yourself. You're in the flow of life force energy. So we're getting more and more glimpses of this energy, what it feels like, what it looks like. And really, like, it doesn't look like anything externally necessarily. And if you've already gotten a glimpse of it, you know that it's just a frequency. You will be in the same exact circumstances that you've always been in, but you'll just have a completely different perspective on things. Suddenly, paying the bills doesn't stress you out anymore. You just know it's all going to be okay. You have an abundance of resources, of time, even if you're not seeing it externally. It's a frequency that you tap into. And so hopefully I'm able to assist you in stepping more and more into that frequency today, because this is crucial. This is crucial. I've talked about many crucial things in the ascension process moving forward. This is number one right now, especially for April 2026. This is a huge theme, and you will probably see others talking about this who are not aware of ascension at all consciously, who are not spiritual at all consciously. They're just feeling the need to address this concept, this topic of survival mode and how to get out of it for good. So if you're curious about, what to expect with the energies in this month and moving forward, and for some tools to work with those energies in a very empowered way, I would recommend checking out my official energy update here for April 2026. We talk about a lot of juicy stuff there, which I'm just going to take a bit further here. So today is our deep dive into survival mode. And so essentially, what is survival mode? Survival mode, I would say, is just like feeling like you're running from the proverbial tiger, like always, like there's no break. Likely, maybe like myself, let's say, you grind your teeth when you sleep, for example. It's like even when you're sleeping, you're still running from that tiger, aren't you? You wake up, you don't feel energized, you don't feel refreshed necessarily, even if you slept a really long time, because on some level, your body is still running from the proverbial tiger. And know that it's not your fault if you're experiencing this, because this is what we've all been groomed to live in this society, in this false matrix. We've all been groomed. And I recently heard a statistic that I believe about like 7 out of every 10 people are living in survival mode. That was mind-blowing to me. I was like, I thought I was the only one. I thought I was a weirdo for being in survival mode, like to the extreme that I have experienced it. But no, it's actually more people than not, unfortunately, are living in this survival mode. More people than not are, unfortunately, always running from the proverbial tiger. And this looks like burnout and adrenal fatigue, for example, and depression, anxiety. These things increase. These are all symptoms of that. So if you're getting sick a lot too, that's another big sign. These are all signs that you're just running. Your body doesn't have time to truly rest, recover, and recharge. And I'm here to tell you, as someone that's actively doing this right now and experiencing this, even if it feels and your mind tells you that you can't get out of survival mode and that, hey, I have XYZ, a million things to do, and there's this stressor and this drama, you can change that right now. And let me show you. Let me show you. I'm feeling called. Let's demonstrate this. I want you to do this with me right now. Whatever you're doing, stop and do this with me instead. It's just going to be a few minutes. Not even, probably like 30 seconds of your time. I want you to take your hands and just place them on your heart, please. And close your eyes if you haven't. And just start to notice the beating of your heart within your chest. The pumping of that life force energy through your veins. Your heart is beating, my friend. You are good. You're good. You have an abundance. Your heart's taking care of everything. You have all that you need here. And so now let's just take a deep, deep breath into the heart space. Filling up the lungs, bringing it down into the stomach, filling up the stomach. Holding it for a moment. Noticing the tension. Giving a voice to the tension. And then just letting it go. And let's do it again. Just filling the breath, filling the heart, allowing yourself to be in this moment with this life force energy. Holding before the exhale, noticing what tension, what pain, what intrusive thoughts exist, acknowledging. And then cathartically release it. Exhale, shake it out, make it physical. And just take a moment to notice, do you feel better? Do you feel like maybe even just for a few seconds, you exited survival mode? You got out of the rat race. You got off the hamster wheel. Did you feel that? So you have the power to do this in any given moment. And like the movie The Matrix, with all the Agent Smiths, coming at Neo with all the bullets, the false Matrix that we live in is gonna throw all these proverbial bullets at you all the time, being like, no, you don't have time. You don't have time to just take a few breaths. You gotta do this. And you, like Neo, you're gonna channel your breath. You're gonna slow down time. What does Neo do in the Matrix? Slows down time, and then he can easily dodge all the bullets and then some, yeah? So that is lesson number 1 here. Anchor into the breath to get out of survival mode and just start noticing. I guess the pre-game here for step 1 is just notice when you're in survival mode. And here's the cheat to notice when you're in survival mode, okay? And this blew my mind. I just had this revelation a few weeks ago. Blew my mind. And that is, anytime you feel yourself in any sort of hurry, you're in survival mode. Congratulations. You're in survival mode. If you are rushing, you are so deeply in survival mode in that moment. Because what's happening when you're rushing? You're running from the tiger, yeah? You're running from the tiger, reptilian brain, running from the tiger. And so, first you notice, pregame. Then, when you notice that, you just take a breath, just a single breath, okay? We can start with that. If you wanna, build up and just take a few more breaths, take 5 minutes to meditate, that's fine. But we start small, right? Because we don't want to add to the overwhelm that the false matrix already gives us, that the survival mode already gives us. We want to take it slow. So you just notice, place the hand on the heart, breathe into it, and remind yourself that you don't need to run from this tiger anymore. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Plot twist, the tiger never existed at all, okay? And so really, that's it? Question mark. So I will say too, as I'm getting out of survival mode myself, I'm trusting not to control things. And for me, that looks like I don't have any plan when I film these videos now. I don't do any sort of outline. There's no script, nothing. It's just purely ad lib. So I never know what I'm going to talk about. And so today, all I knew I was going to talk about is survival mode. And this is what's coming through. So this is, I guess, all it comes down to. We're going to start small. All it comes down to for getting out of survival mode is you notice, and then you just breathe, and you just slow down time. You become Neo in that moment. And just notice. I want you to just notice what happens when you do this. You know, come back in a day and comment and let me know what happened when you tried this experiment. Come back in a week, let me know what happened when you tried this experiment. And know that when you do that, you are generating that evidence both for yourself and for anyone that might see your comment. And what happens is then this practice, it gains strength, it gains power. Just as survival mode has gained power in our society up until now, right? Being in a rush, being productive, that has so much power because so many people have given it power. So let's take our power back and give power to this now. Give power to being out of survival mode into thrival mode, let's call it. Well, let's be in thrival mode now. Being in heaven on earth, being in stillness, in peace, in harmony, in slowness. And then if you wish to take it to the next level from there, my next suggestion for you is that you find a creative project and you start taking action towards that creative project every single day. Okay? This alone will charge you up. And it's important too that you don't have any sort of agenda with this project and no real deadline either. You're doing it just for yourself. Just for yourself, as if you were dating yourself and you're going on a date with yourself every night, every morning, whenever you feel called to do this. I'm a night person, so I like to do it at night. But yeah, when you feel called, you know, you just keep this commitment to yourself. So I announced in my recent video how I have been working on a creative project for the past year. I am currently making a video game, which has been a very long time coming, and I will probably talk more about it in future videos, like how I came to this conclusion that I felt called to make a video game. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it at this has been such an anchor and a lifesaver for me this past year, because I, like probably all of you to some degree, like 2025 especially, was like running a fucking marathon, right? It was like the entire year was like perpetual running from tigers, plural. There wasn't just one tiger, there was a whole horde of tigers. There was a whole horde of tigers chasing the entire fucking year. It was brutal. But I was given this inspiration to create this game earlier in the year, and it carried me through that brutality. It got me through the year, and it's allowed me to just stay centered in myself and in a high vibration ever since I started working on it. It has been absolutely life-changing, and I'm so, so grateful. And I tell you this too because I've always been a very creative person. I know for many people, most people, honestly, they forget about their creativity when they get to be, I don't know, like 10 years old, 11, 12 years old, you know, around the time we turn into teenagers, and then especially once you reach adulthood, right? Like it's like game over for most people's creativity once they get a job and they become a real adult, yeah? But myself, I never let go of that creativity. In fact, I even majored in art in college initially and was just so focused on making creativity my passion and my thing. And I stayed true to that, I will say, for a long time, until about 5-6 years ago. It was COVID, and I had met and had the separation from my twin flame, and I just hit this like rock bottom moment. And friends, I'll be completely honest with you, I basically gave up on my creative passions for a while. It just went to the wayside. And I didn't know that I was doing that at the time, okay? At the time, I was like, I'm running from so many tigers right now. Like, I don't have time for creativity. I just don't have time. I gotta make money. I gotta survive. I gotta find a home. I gotta survive. And I've been in such deep survival mode, really my whole life, honestly. But I would say it was a very intensive survival mode for me the past 7-ish years. And yeah, I let my creative passions just fall to the wayside. And I kept telling myself, in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to pick it up again. Didn't pick it up again for like 5-6 years. Completely let it go to the wayside. And there's always a part of me that felt very, I would say like I was betraying myself because of that. And there's a part of me that really like didn't like myself for doing this. I was like, how could you, Hannah? How could you sell out like that? Like so many people do. How could you give up on this stuff? I'm like getting emotional as I'm speaking about it. It was like brutal. It was something I really struggled with, and it held me back, friends. It held me back. It held me back in my business, which I guess became my new creative outlet to the best of my ability. It certainly has been a wonderful creative outlet for me. Still not to the degree that I experience with like my creative writing, for example, but a great creative outlet. But I feel like how I've had like chains on me in every aspect of my life, in my business, in this channel, in my relationships, in my health, in my living situation, my finances, all of it, because I betrayed myself in this way. And something shifted, friends, when I started working on this game. It's like, I'm back, baby. I'm back, bitches. I really felt like myself come alive to a degree I have not felt maybe ever in my life. And I know I'm not the only one, because I've been witnessing this with so many people close to me in this past year, and other teachers, spiritual teachers, YouTubers and stuff. I see them doing the same thing, same story, same pattern. So many people right now just have like this one creative project. And it's really just pulling them through this corpse drag of an energetic slog that it's been. And so that's my final suggestion, shall I say, for you guys, to get out of survival mode once and for all. Once you got the basics down of learning to find stillness and space in every moment and slowing down time, breaking free from the time matrix, grounding in your body through the breath, take action on your creative spark, your life force energy, your creative project, whatever that may be. And I will say, maybe a lot of you are like feeling so creatively blocked. You're like, I don't even have anything, Hannah. I have no passions anymore. I don't know what I work on creatively. Well, friend, it gets to be even more fun in a way. It gets to be even more playful. You get to see yourself like a little kid that's just starting this life thing for the very first time. And essentially that's what happened, by the way, when we shifted from March 31st, 2026 to April 1st, 2026. Huge portal, no going back. It's like a huge rebirthing for all of us, for Mother Earth as a planet, for all of us as a collective, and for us individually. And so you can literally see your life like that. A child, they're not afraid to try new things, right? They're trying everything. They also aren't forcing themselves to follow through with something if it doesn't bring joy, right? They try something and they'll play with it. They'll try it as long as it brings joy. If it no longer brings joy, they move on to something else. You do that. If you don't have anything on your heart to create right now, just take this time to play like a child, explore. And I promise you, very, very quickly, most likely, you will find something that you're like, oh, wow, like this opens something for me. Wow, I feel this life force energy. I haven't felt this maybe ever. What is this? Follow that thread, friend. Follow that thread. And know that it's through these energies. The projects, by the way, they're just vehicles for the energies. It's through these energies of creativity, of passion, of authenticity that we're creating this new earth. And we can't do it alone. We all have our own unique piece of the puzzle to contribute to the greater whole. Okay? So it's like if I was just making my game and no one else was doing anything, that alone wouldn't create the new earth. Like, that would be silly, right? But if I'm creating my game over here and someone else is creating a spiritual business over here, and someone else is creating, let's say, a new school system over there, and someone else is just like, hey, I want to be a really good parent. I'm going to be a stay-at-home parent. And they've dedicated their lives to just being an amazing parent and raising their kids right. One by one, as we all really like do that thing, that creative thing that is calling us, that's on our heart, and we take it seriously. We take that seriously. We stick to it. We continue feeding it every day. That is how we create the new earth. Then you look around, you're like, wow, what is this place I'm living in now? This feels amazing. This is what happens if we all play our part, if we all take it one step at a time. So I invite you, friends, to do it, to get out of your shell now, to do it. Now is the time. Now is your time. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. This is your green flag, yeah? So this felt like just the beginning. I feel like I'm going to do many more videos on this topic. There's so much to say on this topic of survival mode. And I'm curious if this is something that resonates with you. If you have specific questions about this topic, let me know. Let me know if you'd like to see more, if you have questions, etc., etc. If it feels very relevant to you right now, let me know. And if you've got a creative project that you're working on, please, please own that in the comments. Please. Do you feel my excitement, my passion right there at that? I want to know. What are you working on? Share it. And again, I say this becomes like a pendulum that we charge, a positive pendulum that we charge. And others will see those comments and be like, oh, this person's working on this. This person's working on this. Hannah's working on her game. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Now I feel like I want to work on this thing, and it's really going to hype people up. So that's how you can already start to do your part. Just simply commenting and sharing what's on your heart to create. That's already a way to get this ball rolling. So I invite you to do that. And if you want to go even deeper with this, know that the doors to my new transformational experience and initiation, the Path of the Dragon Initiate, they are open, my friend. They are open for the next couple of weeks. We kick off on April 27th, and I'm bringing it up in this video specifically because I think this may be what a lot of us are actually going to focus on during this round. And what we're going to do in this very first round of Path of the Dragon Initiate is like, so just to be clear, like we work with the different dragons and we work with dragon energies, dragon frequencies in this path, okay? And it's about getting attuned to all the different dragon elementals. But it's like you can apply that to a specific goal. And so for myself, like, because I'm not above it as the teacher, yeah? I'm learning with you guys, I'm exploring, I grow with you guys. Anytime I host any sort of group teaching experience, group transformational experience, I also transform. And it's on my heart for this Path of the Dragon Initiate to put my game through this like program. And basically that's my focus. And I'm gonna see, like where I am with the game like now, and then looking back like in 3 months, where we're at then. I feel it's going to be a huge boost, a huge creative boost that's going to happen doing Path of the Dragon Initiate with that on my heart. So yeah, all of that is to say, if you have a creative project or something that you want to share, if your project is just you, let's say like you just want to know you, who are you? Some of the people that have already joined Path of the Dragon Initiate, this is exactly what they want to work on. Who am I? And I have that actually written on the copy, on the page. I felt inspired to put that, and it's so funny because it just sounds weird and it doesn't sound like typical copy for like a teaching program. But literally what I have at the third like line, the most impactful, one is become yourself. Become yourself. Whew, that's an activation. Become yourself. So that is like the transformation that this particular round of Path of the Dragon Initiate is putting on the table for you to take if you wish. And so, yeah, I'm beyond excited. I already know, like, we already have some really cool creative people in that space, myself included, of course. And it's like, it's basically like we're doing like this energetic potluck. That's what I see. It's like this experience, it's like an energetic potluck, and each person that enrolls and joins, we bring our own ingredient to the potluck. And then by the end, we're gonna have this like beautiful potluck together that we all get to share together. And it's gonna be so juicy, friends. Oh, I can already feel it. Oh, can you feel it? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So yeah, if you're interested, if this calls to you, you'll feel that spark. You'll feel that in your heart, yeah? And if you do, I encourage you to act on it, to take action, even if it feels scary. And no, especially if it feels scary, because guess what? That means you're getting out of your comfort zone. That means you're getting out of all the misery and the stagnancy and the familiarity that you've become so accustomed to. And you're starting to step into a whole new reality. So I encourage you to act on that. And I would so love to co-create with you there, of course. But in any case, friends, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm sending you so much love on this journey. Know that me and your spirit team and your ancestors and the dragons, all of us, we're just sending you so much love. We love you so much. I'm like getting emotional as I say it. I just feel like, know that you are loved. Like, really know that. Let it in. Let it in. You are loved. You, like, everyone is so fucking proud of you. You can't see it, but like you have this whole team of energetic beings around you, deceased loved ones, ancestors, ascended masters, deities, angels, dragons, fairies, unicorns, all of it. They're all around you and they're so fucking proud of you. Let that in. Let that in, my friend. I see you. I love you. I send you good vibes, creative energy on your journey, on your path. Stay powerful.